He gave us his legal team to fight back. He gave us $25,000 to support our mission to feed those in need. He even offered to give us one of his buildings. Because of his efforts, we won, and we are still open today. Every week, Royal Pantry Corporation serves around 400 to 500 documented families with essential food support. If you would ever like to come to Royal Pantry and get involved and volunteer, reach out to us on social media, Facebook and Instagram, or come see us on Fridays for our weekly food distribution at 3 p.m. Anthony encouraged me to come here today and ask for your support. You see, Anthony wants to motivate others to do good in our community and to help make this entire area of New York great again. I believe it when he says it. Thank you.
Thank you, Everett. Next up is a longtime employee of Sticker Mule. His name is Lenny Rudik. He has been with Anthony since high school. We're going to ask Lenny to come up and say a few words.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. This is the time of the year when we give thanks for family, for friends, and for our great country. And tonight, I'm thankful to present a friend who always fights for what's right, Anthony Constantino. My name is Lenny Rudik. I've had the privilege of knowing Anthony for almost 10 years, since I was 15 years old. Back in 2015, I was a high school student, and I thought it would be cool to work for Sticker Mule. So naturally, I did what any teenager would do. I wrote the CEO and asked him if he would hire me for an unpaid internship. To my surprise, Anthony quickly responded, and he insisted on paying me too, and he hired me. What stood out from day one was not that he was a great boss, but he was loyal, fun-loving. He is loyal, he is fun-loving, and he gives people a shot when nobody else will. We became friends one night in 2016 when Anthony was getting attacked by the mob over his support of President Trump. He wrote a few posts supporting then candidate Trump, and the mob went wild. It was 2 a.m. and I saw Anthony was online. So I messaged him and said, ignore these crazy people. I told him I was proudly the only vocal Trump supporter in my high school. And we immediately developed a close bond. I want to note that when the mob attacks, Anthony never backs down. Which brings us to why we're standing here today. Last year, Anthony took a big risk to support President Trump and free speech. Many told him to stay quiet, they said. Anthony, they said, why rock the boat? Just donate quietly and move on. But Anthony refused. He said, we all just saw President Trump get shot, almost die. If people like me stay on the sidelines, things will never get better. So he emailed our 5 million customers and said that he supports President Trump and encouraged an end to anti-Trump hate. In defending the president, Anthony took on the wrath of the whole Democrat Party. Democrats boycotted us. They harassed our customers and banned us from Reddit. Rather than cave to pressure, Anthony doubled down and lit the beautiful Vote for Trump sign. As I look out into the crowd, I see so many faces that were here with us that night. Many don't know this, but we were told that Anthony would be arrested at the sign lighting. Luckily, moments before Anthony was about to light the sign, we got a call. Our attorney said, Anthony, the judge threw out the restraining order and you're free to light the sign. The energy here that night was electric. People came from all over the world, and some even had tears in their eyes. Even some Democrats showed up and saw how much love was within our movement. Amid the crowd, I noticed one of our factory workers, a retired pro boxer who trained Anthony, standing near the front. I came over and said, "You're doing a great job. Thank you." He was making sure that the crowd was under control. He looked at me and said something I will never forget. "I'm ready to die for this man. I even brought a little something with me just in case things go south." That kind of loyalty shows you exactly what kind of a man Anthony Constantino is and how his friends feel about him. We made history here before by fighting for free speech, and tonight, on this same ground, we start our next fight. Please join me in welcoming my boss, my mentor, and my friend, Anthony Constantino.
All right. How about Lenny? Yeah, before I say anything else, I want to say thank you to my team, to Lenny, Kyle, Paul, my team that put up this beautiful wall of turkeys. Vinny, how's the wall of turkeys look? Right? Some people complained about the turkeys, so we made it a few feet higher. Remember, it was going to be 1,000 turkeys, and then the number just kept growing. But look, I promised you all surprises, right? Everybody thinks we're here for one particular reason. But I said there'll be surprises. We're going to get started with a surprise that I actually personally didn't even know about until last night. I was going to play a song for you before I speak. But my team told me about something called copyright, and they said, "Anthony, if you play that song, we're going to lose the live stream." I said, "That's terrible. People want to watch online." I said, "Well, what if I sing the song? Could we stream that?" They looked at me like I was a little crazy and said, "Yeah, that would work." So I'm going to sing a song, and if you want, you can join me. This is my first time singing in public. Right, we'll see how this goes. And I'm going to sing a song my dad loved to sing. You might know it. It goes like this. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, our home, sweet home. God bless America, our home, sweet home. Thank you. Now, before we talk politics, I've been getting a lot of questions about a company called Sticker Mule that everybody seems to like on both sides. And people want to know how the company's doing since I endorsed President Trump and got involved in making America great again. Well, very quickly, I want to announce, before I say anything else, that we're doing quite well. And all 1,000 plus Sticker Mule employees will be getting a $1,000 Christmas bonus this year. Did anybody know that? I kept that one secret. I kept the singing secret too. Only Lenny knew I was going to sing. Look, roughly 1 year ago, I stood in front of this sign to fight for our country. And I started by saying, I'm not your typical CEO. Never have been, never will be. And I think by now you can tell that's true. Local politicians were so angry that I dared to rock the boat in deep blue New York that they brought a restraining order against me, threatening to jail me if I displayed our beautiful, I can't even see it because of the turkeys, but our beautiful vote for Trump sign. I wonder if Trump would like this wall. It's covering up the sign. These corrupt politicians, they thought they could control me and were handed a crushing defeat. I didn't expect to get involved in politics at the time. All I wanted to do was to fight for our country. Ever since I saw President Trump almost lose his life fighting for America, I decided I could do a little too. I could take on a little risk as well to help make America great again. As a CEO, I knew instinctively what President Trump was up against since the day he announced. Poorly performing organizations always hate when a new boss shows up to fix things. Everyone responsible for the mess rebels because they know change is coming, and that change often means they'll be fired. This is why both Democrats and Republicans initially rejected and rebelled against Donald Trump, while I proudly supported him from the very beginning in 2016. I never expected to run for Congresswoman Stefanik's seat, but when President Trump selected her for his cabinet, people all of a sudden started encouraging me to succeed her. We need the best people in government, so I decided to run in the special election. The reaction from the establishment, if you recall, was predictable and a little tragic. Party bosses rebelled against me, banned me from dinners, blocked me from Republican Facebook groups. One chairman famously threatened to kill me. And a chairwoman
We're still waiting on an
threatened my
announcement
aide
from
last week at a
Anthony
Republican
Constantino right now. We're going to
Maybe
give
2 weeks
you
ago.
a live look
Not
back
a very
at
nice
it
person.
later. We'll have an update on it later. Back to you, Greg.
As a patriot, I hope they'd welcome me as I have tremendous resources, I think you can tell, and they need help. I historically kept a low profile while building Sticker Mule, but we are one of the top technology companies in America with more than 100 engineers and 1,000 employees. Everybody says I should say we're a manufacturing company. We're a great manufacturing company, but we're a technology company too. Everyone from Nike to Google to ESPN buys from us, and we recently serviced our 15 millionth customer. I mention this only to make clear that I have skills that are needed in both politics and government. The world is changing, and we need political leaders that get it. Instead, we've been stuck with dinosaurs, whose top concern is often their next donor-funded meal. Obviously, I'm not in politics to get free meals. In fact, I have much more fun buying food for you. Right? We like to have parties. I don't mind spending money on things like this because it's sort of fun for me too, so everybody likes a party, or at least I do. I'm not in politics to get free meal, and I'm also not in politics to ask for your money. I've enjoyed tremendous success, and politics is my way of giving back. I am here to ask for your support, your family's support, and the support of, well, pretty much everyone else you know, as I've officially decided to run for Congress to represent New York's 21st Congressional District. I will, and this is important, I will fully self-fund my campaign, which I'm told is a first. This makes me free to do what's right, while my rivals will be owned by special interest and donors. As a forewarning, I will not be nice to anyone trying to profit off the people. Especially not people who never endorsed the president that are also running on the Republican side. That's embarrassing, and it should have never happened. Believe me when I say, many of these politicians are in it for themselves and their friends. Not for you, Not for us. I'm here doing this to change that. A year ago, I told you I'm not your typical CEO. Well, it turns out I'm not your typical politician either. And if I get lucky, I never will be. Right? We wouldn't want that. My expected Democrat rival, I don't know if you heard of him, Blake Gendabine, like a typical swamp creature, was handed $500,000 from out-of-state Democrats before anyone even knew his name. Most still don't know his name. By the way, I said to my team, fact check the 500. They said it's actually 700,000 he got from out-of-state Democrats before anyone knew his name. Blake saw that big pile of money and he just couldn't resist. Out-of-state Democrats saw someone they could take advantage of, one of our own, and they couldn't resist either. I don't know about you, but I don't have any friends like this Democrat, Blake Gendabine. Blake likes to transition other people's kids and mocks law enforcement. If Blake were one of the good guys, he would not be a Democrat. But instead, he proudly supports a party that I don't care for very much. I like the Democrat people, but I don't like the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party's become obsessed, and this really bothers me, but it's become obsessed with transitioning other people's children. And it wants men, pretending to be women, to use the women's restroom. Democrats, Blake saw the Democrats are hurting us, and instead of fighting them, he took their dirty money. Unfortunately for Blake, who was doing not so bad during the special election, he has some competition by the way of dancing shoes, Dylan Hewitt, who may very well dance his way to the top of the Democrat ticket. I don't know if you saw this guy, but he actually wore his high school dancing shoes to his announcement speech and bragged about it. Believe it or not, he's looking better than the other guy. I'm up by 10 points over either of them because voters know I'm here to help. Many already knew I grew up on the factory floor. I actually started working right in that building. And I stayed on the factory floor until I got involved in politics. Despite having a Mar-a-Lago membership for the last 5 years, I bought one to support the president. I never went until I ran for office. I have nothing against rich people, but I generally don't spend much time with them. I prefer my childhood friends and frontline factory workers. Democrats can run whatever silly fake campaign they want, but their dishonesty will be exposed running against me. Of course, before I handle a Democrat rival, I first have to win the Republican primary, and I'm honored to say my top 5 rivals during the NY21 special election have already dropped out. Pretty cool. Right? I respect them all for making the right decision and look forward to their endorsements. We'll see how quickly they come. Some may come faster than expected, but we'll see. We'll see who else ends up showing interest. As I said, there's a guy who never endorsed the president, which is totally embarrassing. That's showed a little interest, but just so everybody knows, and I'm talking really to my rivals in the corrupt establishment, I want them to hear this and understand this. I already put $5 million of my own money in a campaign account and will spend whatever it takes to win. Somebody told me yesterday that makes me the 3rd most well-funded person fighting for a congressional seat. I did this because there's too much at stake to let a political grifter get into Congress, where the donor class and the swamp will control them. Congress is an important job, and the North Country deserves a representative with a track record of success who embodies our values and will fight to make us great again. I decided to give my speech here today in front of the beautiful Vote for Trump sign to make it clear that one of my values is loyalty. Right? It's an important one. While others gave up on New York, I stayed and built my business here to protect my community, and my friends from the horror of economic decline. I couldn't imagine telling lifelong employees and friends of mine that the jobs in our communities are all gone. I always prioritize my employees' happiness, listen to them, and delivered by creating over 1,000 good-paying jobs in a happy environment with great air conditioning, which is very important in the summer. And believe it or not, many factories still don't have great air conditioning. When I first started working, I sweat probably 5 pounds out a day working in that building. In politics, now I'm in politics to help a much larger number of people live better and happier lives. I think that's what it's all about. In politics, I'm a very loyal person too, especially when someone has earned my loyalty. While some Republicans kowtow to the Democrat Party, I remain loyal to President Trump and his mission to make America great again. President Trump took a bullet for us. We shouldn't forget it. He's doing the toughest job in the world, and he's doing it well. Democrats love to lie and say that this or that could be better if only they had a little more power. It's the easiest thing to do. But let's remember what would be happening right now had President Trump not won. Dirty cop James Comey and those like him would be weaponizing the FBI against us. Free speech would be gone as Democrats continue to censor the internet. The borders would be open with millions of illegals pouring in. Transgenderism would be aggressively promoted to children in our public schools. And democracy would be dead. The Democrats love to use that line, but they lie when they say it. I say it, and I speak the truth. Democracy would have been dead had President Trump not won, as Democrats would have corruptly imprisoned him and threw away the key. We would have lost our candidate, we would have lost our president. That's what they wanted to have happen. Luckily, none of that happened, because we fought to help President Trump win. Already, President Trump has stopped 8 wars and saved countless lives. We helped save those lives and should be proud of our accomplishment. Already, President Trump secured the border to stop the flow of drugs, crime, and human trafficking. On this particular topic, I have a simple message for the entire Democrat Party. I want them all to hear it. Shame on all of you. Many of our citizens don't know this, but I do. In the Democrat Party's quest to import voters, they caused countless women and children to be trafficked, raped, and murdered. This is little talked about. To the women of America on both sides, I humbly ask you to look at the facts. Democrats caused hundreds of thousands of rapes, thinking no one would talk about it, but I will. Our borders, under Democrats, became fields of rape, as beautiful South and Central American women crossed and were viciously raped in large numbers. Some who fought back were killed. Their bodies just left to rot. Many of them were never found and identified. President Trump secured our border, stopped the drugs, and stopped the raping. His voters helped him do it, and should take pride in that accomplishment. Because of what I know, it sickened me. I think you can tell I care about this topic, but it sickened me to watch the Democrat Party dishonestly grandstand over the border. They did it. It was horrible. We all remember the photos of New York Democrat AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, fake crying at the wall, remember? Bend over with the fake tears and the white suit, looking ridiculous. Esta pera es una traidora al mundo latino. Ella apoyó la violación de mujeres y niñas en nuestra frontera. ¿Y para qué? Para ponerse rica, siendo una dicta política. Esta latina traidora ni siquiera habla bien español. Hablo mejor español que esta pera falsa. Y soy un gringo con sangre italiano. It's true. I saw her do an interview, and for those of you who don't know, her Spanish is terrible. If she wants to debate me, hola, pero me puedes debatir cuando quieres en español o en inglés. Eres un idiota. Gracias. Her Spanish is terrible. AOC is a fake Latina. She doesn't represent her people. Her Spanish is terrible. And she doesn't give one fuck about those women that got hurt at the border. I can say that word because women were literally raped and killed because of her disgusting ideas. I will admit this. Democrat behavior has gotten better since President Trump's election. Their rhetoric has tempered from the days of swearing until they were blue in the face that President Trump is Hitler. But it was still disappointing to watch Democrats shut down our government because they thought it would hurt President Trump while they fought for illegal immigrants who they view as voters. I know 3 languages and have a global company. I love people all over the world. But the job of American politicians is to help America. Instead, the Democrat Party fights for illegals over our own citizens. These illegals drain our resources, clog our healthcare system, eat up our taxpayer dollars. But the Democrat Party loves them because they think they're importing voters. Tragically, illegal immigration also destabilizes foreign countries. Imagine trying to run a country where people are constantly leaving. And as I explained, causes mass rape. As your representative in Congress, I will make sure the border is sealed and stays sealed. Secure borders help America and help foreign countries too. I want the whole world to succeed, just like President Trump. Not only America, but our government's job is to put America first. Unlike Democrats, and when I say Democrats, I always mean the Democrat Party. Again, we got to be nice to the Democrat voters. Maybe one of them will think like us. Some of them will think like us one day. I will support law enforcement so they can protect the American people from criminals who are here legally and illegally. Law enforcement includes ICE, who is cruelly demonized by the Democrat Party. As the owner, perhaps the most successful founder-owned tech company in America, I work to help everyone in New York's 21st district enjoy the internet economy as I have. Our district tragically suffers from lack of access to fast internet and reliable cell service. I'll get that fixed, which will help grow our economy and create jobs by enabling high-paid remote workers to live in our beautiful towns and cities. On the issue of affordability, which is a hot topic these days, I happen to be an expert too. The absolute best way to bring prices down is to cut stupid government regulations. Ask any restaurant owner about how government regulations have skyrocketed their cost. Today, almost all restaurants are chains because regular people who are great cooks can't navigate our nation's ridiculous food regulations. I will work to cut stupid regulations, government waste, and taxes. That's how we make America affordable. Democrats are totally lost on this topic of affordability. They say the word, but they don't understand it. They're actually presenting the idea that they can literally seize people's homes and give them to other people to address affordability. This is a cruel and stupid recipe for misery, and the Democrat Party should be ashamed to suggest it. Thou shalt not steal is the 8th commandment. And new Democrat leader, Zoran Mandami, is disrespecting his own religion by advocating for theft of property. Of note, this dishonest Democrat weasel, he does look a little weaselly, let's be honest, also betrayed his own religion. He talks about his religion all day, but then he betrays it completely. It's an obvious betrayal. He betrayed his own religion by promising to take $54 million of your tax dollars to fund gender transition procedures in children. Everyone knows that this is against the Muslim religion, but Zoran doesn't care, and neither does his Weasley father. The guy's a true scumbag who wrote in his book that he glorifies suicide bombings. If nobody saw that, look it up. The guy's raised by a total scumbag. I probably could use the F word talking about him too, because he said, look, it's okay to put on a vest and blow people up. That's disgusting. Zoran, your dad's a piece of shit. I joined the fight against the Democrat Party because issues like this made clear to me that they are the bad guys. And I humbly ask all registered Democrat voters to join me in leaving them. Most importantly, I believe in peace through strength. That's why I will finish the Fort Drum missile defense system, which will increase our safety and make it easier to negotiate peace throughout the world. I'm a businessman, not a politician. And as a businessman, I operate on a simple principle. You find problems and you fix them. As a congressman, I'll do the same. I will listen, learn, find problems, and fix them as fast as I can. The problems I fix will benefit all citizens, Democrats and Republican alike. I don't even know how to solve problems that only benefit one side. I stand before you today because President Trump was shot, and when I heard him yell, "Fight, fight, fight," I viewed it as a call to action. Since that day, I've done everything I can to fight for America, as have many of you. I exposed transgender propaganda in our public middle schools. I paid to send 100 kids to St. Mary's Institute to promote private alternatives to public education. I directed my lawyers to defend the Royal Food Pantry when Democrat politicians tried to shut them down. I donated to help the Inman Senior Center because I love our seniors. If I get lucky, I'll be a senior one day too. I acted to save the historic Custy Amato Gym when it was going to lose its lease because our history is important and because gyms give kids like Iron Mike Tyson a chance to become great. We all fight for a better future in our own way. Some of us do it on Facebook, others at the coffee shop. But I encourage you all to try to persuade others to see the world as we see it. I want us all to get along. I want what's best for the world. We all generally want what's best for the world. But it takes effort to get those who disagree to see our perspective and the wisdom behind it. That's why recently, following the assassination of Charlie Kirk, I did something I never expected to do. I made a 10-song patriotic album with 20-time platinum producer Heleva to persuade all Americans to be more patriotic and to see the world as we see it, using the power of music. A friend of mine, Greatness, called me just after Charlie was viciously murdered with the idea to make this album as a way of fighting back against the negativity and hate coming from the other side. We saw millions of Democrats celebrating Charlie's murder and were disgusted. It's horrible. I thought about it for a day, quickly wrote 5 songs, and kept on writing. Within a week, I sketched out 10 songs and we booked the studio to record them. None of us knew what to expect. I never made music before. But in 2 weeks, we made Thank You, President Trump, the album. And I even got my friend, Roger Stone, to sing on it. It'll be available soon, but since you all showed up today, I thought I'd let you hear the first single for the first time ever, which took us all by surprise. We were in the studio, and I said I want a song called Fight. But for that particular song, I didn't have the words. Heleva, the producer, said, well, what does this sound like? I said, it sounds like something you listen to before you're getting ready to fight. Da 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 da. That's all I gave him. Luckily, he's a genius. A few hours later, he had a beat and asked me what we thought about it. He played it, and my new friend Greatness jumped up and shouted, "You ever got shot? Stood up and yelled, fight?" It was infectious. Everyone started chanting in the studio. You ever got shot? Stood up and yelled, fight? Within 30 minutes, we had the song Fight, which commemorates the moment President Trump was shot, stood up and yelled, fight, fight, fight. A moment that marked my entry into politics. My hope is the song and the album reach people in a way that an ordinary political speech never could. I'm honored to be here today to have you listen to this speech once, but music can be enjoyed over and over again. DJ, can you please play the song?
You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? Well, if you ever did, then you would know what Trump felt like. The whole world was in shock and in tears when he got shot in the ear. You know they aimed for his head, they hoped that God wasn't there. They tried to make him a martyr, tried to end his campaign, but they made him go harder, can't put an end to his name. You know when God is with you, the bullets can't hit you. You know when God is with you, the devil against you. So many hateful celebrities, so much jealousy. My boy got battle scars, 36 felonies. When will the hate and stop assassination plot? Is it all they say in God? He's still hearing that say a lot. They try to take his spot, they try to take a shot. Now we taking shots and thanking God. Let's all pray to God. Dear Heavenly Father, I know lately we all been heavily bothered, but please make us forget our differences and join us together. Wherever we need to go, point us wherever. Got shot, stood up and yelled fight? You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? Well, if you ever did, then you would know what Trump felt like. Being real nowadays is a rare condition. Hell is hot, but I got air condition. God keep me peaceful, I'd rather spare a victim than have to make the helicopters airlift him. 2 centimeters to the left, the bullets would have left him. That's what I call a heavenly intervention. Put your faith in God, the recipe for protection. Give an eye, first class tickets to the resurrection. Tell the haters face it, our president is a legend. Stop hating on another man, just look at your reflection. Motivation on the road to greatness, but y'all road raging. Tell the radio station, put this in rotation. Now let's say a prayer. God, if I speak, I know that you hear. I know that I share these feelings with the rest of the world. Why can't we all get along? I want what's best for the world. You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? You ever got shot, stood up and yelled fight? Well, if you ever did, then you would know what Trump felt like.
I think that was the first. I think this is the first ever presidential album with all original music. Lee Atwater did a presidential album, but it was music that already existed. It's going to be the first ever presidential album with all original music, and I think the first time an album's ever been, well, for sure, first time an album's ever been released at a congressional announcement speech. So hopefully you guys liked it and you like the rest of the album too, and hopefully people listen to it over and over and over again, and we spread a positive message in a sort of different way. Like I said, thanks for coming and listening to this speech. I'm happy to have you here listening to it once, but you can listen to the music over and over and over again. I think you can all tell this will be a different type of campaign. It will be fun, exciting, and productive. Go see my team, sign up. We got hoodies, we got food. Sign up to get involved. Grab a hoodie, grab a yard sign, grab whatever else we have over there. I started my campaign at the Vote for Trump sign because it's where I gave my first speech, and because I wanted everyone to see my big, beautiful factory buildings. But we'll be touring the district, the very big NY21 district, going all the way up to the north on the border of Canada. Thank you all for coming. I know it was a little bit on the cold side, so extra thank you for toughing out the cold and being here. We got an incredible crowd tonight. I hope today makes you feel more inspired to fight for your country and through whatever battles you're facing in life. I'm eager to fight for all of you. That's it. Now I just want to take questions. We'll take questions from the media, and then we'll maybe talk to the crowd. All right? I'm going to talk to the press, and I'm going to talk to all of you. One question? Sorry, what's going on? What's that? Oh, you need the job? We're hiring right now, but I don't do the hiring no more. On the website, stickermule.com/careers, fill it out, and we'll get in touch. Okay?